Well, you can see the vehicle that shall remain unnamed right behind my shoulder there. We actually didn't take it out yesterday at all. We had the most magical day yesterday. Richard did this whole thing. He booked this whole trip. He went and researched everything, and so several weeks ago, maybe even months, he booked a shuttle so that we could go and hike the Narrows, which is in Zion. And, all right, Leslie, did I say that right? Zion? In any case, so I really had done no research about any of this. I mean, I knew, and as a child, we'd even driven through much of this, but I don't remember any of it. And so we took a shuttle, and first of all, the drive is just spectacular. I mean, literally everywhere you look, it's just breathtakingly amazing. And then we get to the Narrows, the trailhead, and it's all paved in the beginning. And I'm thinking, okay, and there are tons of people. I mean, the driver told us that Zion had its best season ever last year during the pandemic, which, I mean, everyone's just desperate to be out and doing something outside and not being, cooped up in your house. So we drive to the trailhead, and there's just a lot of people, right? And so it's, whatever, it's fine. And but I hadn't expected that many people. And so we're walking along, and it's paved, and and there's just tons of people, and you're like, okay. And all these people have these big sticks. And so Richard and I are sort of like, we're making a joke about how they're, they've got sticks, and, well, we're the older ones, they're young. Why do they have sticks? This is crazy. Well, then we get to the part of the trailhead that it's now, a real trail, and people are just plunging right into this river. And I said, okay, this is why I have my water shoes on and shorts. And so we plunge in after them. And it's ankle height. And then we're going along, and I'm looking at the people in front of us, and I'm actually a little grateful that there are other people there, because it's not ankle anymore. They're going up to their knees. And then some of the people whose legs are shorter, they're now up to their waist in water. They're hiking along. And the water's cold. And it was a cold day. So I just thought, okay, well, this is just a whole nother level of adventure. And we plunge it along after them. And of course, their sticks are really coming in handy now. And all of my, little quips about how silly it all is, I'm looking pretty silly because, I'm desperate to have one of those sticks. We went for 8 miles. It was an 8+ miles. And I'm going to post photos as I'm talking, and I just have to say that the videos and photos that I'm taking in no way capture the magical quality or feeling of just thrill of being in this canyon. It just absolutely beyond breathtaking. It was the most amazing day. Just absolutely, there's no words. There really aren't. There are no words. So I'm going to continue this because Richard's waiting for me to have a little breakfast, a little hearty breakfast here out west. 2 eggs, some bacon or sausage, home fries, and a little wheat toast. So I just want to finish what I was saying now that it's after breakfast, a hearty meal. We had just the loveliest day. It was one of those magical days. And I finally found a stick that I could use on the ground. And so I picked it up and I used it, and I was astonished at how much easier it was to cross the river, especially when the current and the wind. You'll see in the videos that I post that it was at times, well, I don't think I took a video of actually crossing the river because I was just so desperately trying to keep my balance and not fall. I did see a couple of people take the plunge. I mean, one woman went down, backpack and all, right up to her neck in the water. And all I could think of was, oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't have her phone in there. And then, I know this is what we think about today. And then a man who was helping an older woman, he went down. And, you know, that water is really cold. So that's quite the rude awakening. In any case, we did not. Richard did get some horrible blisters on the insides of his feet from, I guess, because, you know, when you're torquing your foot and the shoes just started to rub, and he didn't notice it because of the cold water. It's so cold, you know, it sort of masked. But when we got out and finally got home, and he took his shoes off, and he saw how, well, actually, when we took our shoes off to wipe our feet, when we got out and were waiting for the shuttle to go back home, it was quite a shock. So we have to pick up some Band-Aids, and I don't think we're going to do the hike we had thought, which was going to be about 5.5 miles today. I think we're going to do some other stuff, get some Band-Aids for one. But the weather is just gorgeous, hardly any wind. We're having such a fabulous time. It's just beautiful here. If you haven't been here before, I highly recommend it. It's just a magical part of the world. All right, onwards. Okay, so we're on a hike, and it's called the Narrows, and this is looking back where we came. And it's called the Narrows because we're walking into a little canyon in water. So look at this, there's a slot coming up, and that's where we're going. All this vegetation. Look at this maidenhair's fern. Columbine. This is lovely. There's the creek. So it's really crowded, and this is what we're walking through. And the water is pretty cold, but my little cold feet. So it's just about up to your waist, not quite. Just wanted to document it. Getting a little better up here. All right, so we've just gone through almost waist deep water, and it's windy and it's cold. It's about 69 maybe 62, 3 degrees. I don't think it's more than that. And these are the intrepid ones who have continued. Most people we left behind back there. But I met a guy, he said that if you go to the left, the water goes up to your neck. He said you're basically swimming. I don't think I'm going to be doing that. The wind is so fierce. It's unbelievable. And the current is really a little tough when you're crossing and there's slippery rocks. This one wasn't bad at all because you weren't even up to your knees, but oh my God. I need to get over there where it's sunny. I'm waiting for my husband. One girl went down. She fell. Her backpack was submerged. She was up to her neck. This water was so cold. And all I kept thinking was, oh God, she doesn't have a phone with her. Look at this guy without a shirt on. This is insane. So much fun. This is so spectacular. Into the river we go. Alright, so the next crossing is here. Doesn't look too bad. Look at all these youngsters. We have seen a few older people, but there aren't many. Definitely in the minority here. Look at that. Okay, now just here we go. A little up. This is where we're headed. And then we have to go back all the same route. I'm getting used to the cold water though. crossing back and forth this little running water, stream, river, whatever, back and forth over and over. Sometimes it's as high as you're above your knees, sometimes it's just up to your ankles. But it's cold. The wind's died down, so that's nice. Amazing. Check this out. I'm walking in the water. Just have to be a little careful. This is so cool. So this is what we were hoping to get to. The Narrows of the Narrows. How cool is this? Of course, I don't want to slip and fall while I'm filming, so. But just so you can see how deep this is, there's no way to capture this. The enormity of the unbelievable. So this is the other way to go, and it's the road less traveled. It's evidently the water goes up to your neck. I'm thinking that's not for me. I want to take a look. It's my intrepid husband crossing. Oh man, we are headed back through that. That's what we're going through. Remember, that water's cold. So this is a long day's journey. It's been spectacular. We've got a ways to go. Okay, coming to you from inside the car, which actually has the best noise reduction, but there's not much wind. But I thought I'd take this moment to just say, when we did the Narrows, which was yesterday, awesome day. We had a shuttle come to pick us up at 6:15, but we were actually done a bit before that, so we had to wait. And as we were waiting, we met this young woman and her nephew, her 16-year-old nephew, adorable. And so we spent a couple hours talking to them because the shuttle was late, and then the shuttle itself. Anyway, they were just lovely. That's another thing I love about traveling. You meet really interesting, fabulous people. So onwards to our next adventure.